I understand the way that the book is a radical experiment in a kind of realistic prose, but you go out of your way in the book, I think about the beginning of volume 3, to make it clear that you're constructing memories, that this doesn't have a pretense, that you don't have total recall, that you have to get facts wrong, that you might even bend them to a certain degree to the demands of the form. So it sounds from the books like you don't believe there's any way to write a book that's totally free of artifice. Right?
No, that's, yeah.
So where do you locate the artifice? Is it in the fact that you pretend to remember things you can't remember? Is it in pace? I mean, is it in aesthetic categories, like the way you want to control the experience? Where are the things in my struggle that you would consider to be clearly artificial and not making a bid for realism?
It's, you know, when you're writing, if it feels like it's real, it's just an effect that you're making, you know. And I think I saw this very interesting film. It's one of my favorite films. I saw it again now just a few days ago. It's The Idiots by Lars von Trier. And I remember when it came in 1998, it was a completely new aesthetic, you know. It was a dogma film, so it's handheld camera, documentary, it's kind of style, and it was new. It restricted all the things that makes films great, you know. It was kind of back to absolute basic. And in that film, you could see the microphones coming down, and you could see the reflection of the camera. And you know this is a film. But when I saw it, it was a film it felt so real. I mean, it felt so directed, so real, and it was, to me, it was almost a sensation, you know. That's where you're supposed to be, that's where it happens, you know. Now this has become a form. Now you can see that in a lot of films, and now the effect is gone, you know. You can still feel it when you see the film, but it still is. It was then, and I think he was trying to do that all the time, to get there. That's what you do when you're writing, you try to get there. And if you do, 5 years later, it's only, you see the form, you know.
The Idiots is a film where a group of middle-class people decide to pretend to be severely mentally disabled. Or they call it spazzing or something. They go into public and they drool and they act profoundly disabled.
Yeah. And it's a game, right? That's why they're playing a game. And then, when I meet really disabled people, the game collapses for the first time. You know, it completely collapsed, the game. The second time it does is the end of the film, because death enters, you know, completely collapse. No game anymore, it's for real, this is for real, you know, and that's that feeling. I mean, I saw the ending now, and I know how it ended, but I'm still crying because of that. It's so moving. And Lars von Trier, that's the most calculating person on earth. I think he's so clever, and he knows exactly where he should put the finger. And he tells you, I'm going to put the finger there, and you're going to cry. And you cry. You know, he's brilliant. But that's also a matter of form, you know, and working with form, manipulations, writing novels, manipulation, you know, in a way.
But if you were writing a volume of My Struggle and you realized that you thought that as an aesthetic object, as a work of fiction, it would be better if a character died or got pregnant or whatever, turned into a wizard, I don't know, right? Would you change the facts as you experienced them in the name of the novel, or did you have a commitment to the best of your ability to not alter the facts of your lived experiences?
Yeah.
And why?
Because I didn't think of the reader. I didn't want the reader to, you know, feel something specific or something. I just wanted to evoke a kind of presence in the life of the character, which is me, which should supposed to be true. That was one of the aims. And there was a couple of things I wanted to understand. That I'm trying to understand through writing a novel. That was it. I didn't want any effects. Then, during the writing of this book, I read Peter Hanke's book about his mother's suicide. a book you all should read. It's an absolutely fantastic book. It was written in the 70s.
Sorrow Beyond Dreams.
Yeah, and his question is how to represent your mother who committed suicide without kind of, dignity, without giving her away, without using her, That means no representation of her. And I was reading this, and I had written about my father, and I really wanted to do something like that. And I thought, no, this is just the fact that I'm representing him. I'm kind of, that's a manipulation, But that's also art, So the way death is written about in the Hackus, I think he's completely right. That's how it is. It's really is nothing. When I wrote it, I made even the nothing to something unromantic, or something with a pull in it, or. And that's the difficulties by writing. If you write about yourself, it's really misery, you're 20 years old. It really is misery, Like, if you write about it, there is a certain pull in it, there is a certain aura of, I want to be there, or this is, And that's same time as the beauty of literature. It's a comfort in it, just to read about it. But it still is a kind of trail. There is something not true in it, And that's part of the struggle, in my struggle is about that.